A very Merry Christmas, the CFP playoffs, and an NFL season winding down. All this on our show, which starts now. All right. Well, we wanted to come on and do one last show before we go on Christmas hiatus. We visit family. We fatten up with good food.
Oh, yeah.
Like we needed more fattening up.
Okay.
So, all right. So what's going on, man?
Nothing much recently.
Other
Just
than not being in school anymore?
no.
Enjoying yourself?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Being lazy while mom and dad still go to work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's pretty much what's been.
I don't
for
like the
me.
way my hat looks, but whatever. Anyways.
Yeah.
So you've been out of school, you're on Christmas vacation, and you're enjoying that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. So let's get going on our show. And why don't we start with this right here? This day in sports history brought to you by the DOS Man.
Me.
Yep. All right, man. So you wanted to start with this. So what do you got for us today?
All right. Well, we're a few days off on this.
Uh-huh.
Mainly because we were going to do a show the other day, but there were some technical difficulties.
Yes.
As there always is.
No, always. It's not an uncommon thing for us to have issues. So
Yeah. So, but it's okay because we won't be too far off on it. So, and I wanted to do this because this event was probably one of the happiest days of my life.
Okay.
So, this is for December 18th. All right.
okay, so about 3 days ago.
Yep. As it is December 21st
Uh-huh.
currently. So, on this day in sports history, December 18th, 2022,
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, Argentina defeated France 3-3, 4-2 in penalties in the World Cup final to win it for the first time since 1986.
Yep. And I remember that day. You were very nervous.
Yep.
Pacing up and down. It was just all over the place emotions for you that day.
Yep. I could not eat breakfast because breakfast got done in the middle of extra time.
Yeah.
So since I was on nerves, I was just going
Yeah.
trying to finish it so I could get back to watching.
Yep.
So,
Well, and towards the end of the game, Argentina looked like they had it in the bag, but then
they were winning 2-0 up until the 80th minute.
and
when-
then one Kylian Mbappe takes over.
Yes, he scored a penalty kick in the 80th minute and then followed up the very next minute with a second goal to tie the game.
Yep.
And flip the game on its head.
Yep. He scored 2 goals in 2 minutes and put you in a state of panic.
That's
Then-
a little bit of an understatement.
And then to top it off, on top of that, he almost scored again.
Oh, yeah.
But the goalie made a sensational save.
Yep, this was in the 123rd minute.
Yep.
So had he scored it, the game would have been over,
Yep.
pretty much.
And this is already on added time on added time.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. And he actually scored a third goal in extra time, which was a penalty kick
yeah,
in the 118th minute.
right.
So it was 3-3.
It was 3-3 at that point. The game ends. We go to penalty kicks.
And France missed.
France misses. The goalie for Argentina made a couple of extraordinary saves. And long and behold, Argentina wins the World Cup and brings home their third World Cup
And
home.
and pandemonium ensued all across the world.
And pandemonium ensued all across the
Yep,
world.
as Lionel Messi pretty much solidified himself as the greatest player in recent times.
Yep. So, good day. Good times on that. I mean, that was this day in sports history.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. And, of course, you get to always do your Leo Messi plug. So, We didn't have to actually wait till the end of the show to bring on freestyle for you to do that. So there is your just shameless promotion of Leo Messi by Juan Dossman.
What do you mean shameless? What do you mean?
Oh man! So
Shameless promotion.
Leo Messi all the time with you. So, anyways, all right, man. So why don't we go to this now?
Oh yeah.
The NFL is winding down, and the playoffs will be here not too long before we know it. So, the NFL has been kind of a ha-hum season for your dad, as these up here ain't doing nothing. Yet we still had, let's spin it, and Jerry cooking up his Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I don't have it up here anymore. I don't know what happened to my Kool-Aid, but anyways, so, it's been a great year. And
someone drank.
I have all the confidence in Mike McCarthy, and they've been doing an awesome job. Shut up.
Someone drank all the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Somebody drank all the Kool-Aid. So, and that was probably me. But anyways, so Jerry's spinning things, acting like he's going to bring Mike McCarthy now, but we know what's going to happen. Uncle Jerry's Kool-Aid will be rampant for the rest of the season. It'll be rampant in the off season, and it'll be rampant until Uncle Jerry does not produce anymore. So,
yeah.
Anyways, all right, man. So let's talk a little bit about the NFL and what's going on.
Yeah.
Your Rams are making a little bit of noise.
Oh yeah. About time. Things have spiced up a little bit in the last few weeks in the NFC West.
Yeah.
It is probably the tightest race of all the divisions this year.
Yep.
Very, very, very tight. Very tight. The Rams just recently this past week took back first place in the NFC West by doing none other than not only defeating the San Francisco 49ers, not only sweeping the San Francisco 49ers, but eliminating the San Francisco 49ers from the playoffs.
Oh, you mean we're not going to have a bang bang Niner gang this year in the playoffs?
Nope.
Love it. By the way, let me interject this. Right now, the Texans and the Chiefs are playing, and the Chiefs are leading 7-3.
They're already playing?
Yes.
Oh,
So-
it's 12. Oh, wait, the Rams should be playing already.
Yeah.
No, that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Today is Saturday. Today we have a couple of games on as the Chiefs are taking on the Texans. And then later on at 3:30, we will have the Ravens
oh, yeah.
and the Steelers.
And that
So,
will be a very crucial game in the AFC North battle.
right. So going back to the NFL in the NFC West, what you got going on there?
All right. So, in first place is the Los Angeles Rams, who are 8-6.
Congratulations.
But right on their tail is the Seattle Seahawks, who are also 8-6.
Yep.
The Rams win the tiebreaker of first place because they actually defeated the Seattle Seahawks earlier.
Can I stop you there for a minute? Because I just noticed something.
But
On your left hand, you have a Super Bowl ring. It's a Green Bay Packers Super Bowl ring.
okay, it's the first ever Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a cool collectible I have.
So tell the people that don't know your story. A few years back.
Oh, do we really have to?
Yes. Let's embarrass you for a little bit.
No, please don't.
Yeah, let's embarrass you for a little bit. So the Dossman used to be a Green Bay Packer fan. He was a big Green Bay Packer fan. He used to have the Green Bay Packer gear.
I'm ashamed of
He's
that
got
time.
all the Super Bowl rings of the Green Bay Packers. But he is a Packer fan no more. Because now he is a Ram fan. Now, tell the story of why you went from a Packer fan to being a Ram fan.
Why? Why
Just
did you have to
because.
do that to
Just
me?
because.
Just because?
Yes. You shouldn't have worn the ring.
Well, I thought it'd be kind of cool since it's the first ever. It's the Super Bowl I ring.
Yeah.
It wasn't even called the Super Bowl. It was called the AFL NFL World
NFL.
Championship.
Yep, that's
ring.
right. So,
All right. So basically, it's January 6th or 7th, 2021.
Yeah.
2021, I believe. Oh, yeah, 2021. It's the NFC Championship game. The Green Bay Packers making it to their 20 billionth NFC Championship game in like the last 10 years, taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep.
And you want to know what happened?
Yep.
Just as with almost every other championship game appearance, they lost it.
Yep.
So,
You were done.
yep.
You quit on your team. Meanwhile, Dad has been dry for 30 years and is still a Cowboys fan.
Hey, at least I'm rooting for a team that you like now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I hated the Packers with a passion. It's like I never wanted to dictate what kind of a fan or team, what kind of a team you were a fan of, and you decided to be a Green Bay Packer fan. A little bit for me, kind of hard to swallow, but it's fine. Now you're a Ram fan.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine if I was still a Green Bay Packers fan during the playoffs last year?
Oh God, I would have been. Yeah. So, anyways, all right. So back to you've told the story. So now you're a Ram fan.
I'll still root for them, but that's only whenever the Rams are out. So
Okay.
yeah, but we don't really talk about that time. All right,
Okay.
I was like 10 years old. I didn't know as much as I did now. So
Okay.
yeah, that was a different time for me. And we're past that now. Years past that. One Super Bowl championship later, and I'm staying. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't like the fact that you brought that up.
Well, you shouldn't have wore the ring. So,
Well,
anyways.
I just thought it'd be cool. And this is like, even though it looks like all simple and old and stuff, this is like, there's something about the little globe design of it that makes it like one of my favorite Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So back to the NFC West. The Rams are leading 8-6, and they are tied, basically record-wise with the Seahawks, but they hold the tiebreaker because they beat the Seahawks.
Yep. In third place, you've got the Arizona Cardinals, who are 7-7.
Yep.
They have been on yet another mid-season collapse, as they always do.
Yeah.
They always go. They start flying, and then bam, they get hit with a stone in the middle of the season and start tumbling down. And then they go, out of the playoffs.
So, and bringing up the rear, bang, bang, Niner gang.
The caboose. The caboose.
Oh, man, I hate the Niners.
Me too.
Anyways, all right. So, and then what else you got going on?
Well, it appears that the NFC is looking. The playoff spots are pretty much already set in. Both the NFC East, just the NFC East pretty much looks decided already.
Yeah.
As the Eagles are leading it 12-2,
Right.
or leading the division with a record of 12-2.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we play it as if the playoffs were to start today, in the NFC, the bye would go to
the Detroit Lions.
the Detroit Lions.
Okay, yes, as they have a record of 12-2.
Yep.
So,
but they have the tiebreaker against the Eagles, I guess.
Yes, they hold the tiebreaker over win percentage based on conference
games. Yeah. So then you have the Eagles. So if the playoffs started today, the Eagles would be taking on the Washington Redskins, Commanders. Redskins to me. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
So, all right. And then you would have
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the 3 seed taking on the Green Bay Packers in the 6 seed.
Oh, memories of 2021. So, anyways, and then
the Rams would take on none other than the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, that would be a good game. Oh, man, I don't know. That'd be a tight game.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So,
hey, I'm not too worried, though, because one of our 8 wins this season was actually against the Minnesota Vikings.
It was.
Thursday Night Football by a score of 30-20.
Yep.
So I'm not too worried.
Yep. So, and it's it's kind of, the Rams are, if the season was to end today, they would be 8-6, and the Minnesota Vikings at 12-2 would actually have to travel to the Rams because they are not division winners. The Rams would be. So therefore, the Rams would host the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, that's what happens when you have one of the best Detroit Lions teams ever in your division. So
there you have it. That would be your first round games with the Lions having a bye, the Eagles taking on the Commanders, and then the Buccaneers, Packers, and then the Rams and the Vikings.
Sounds like a pretty good playoff.
It would be a good playoff. So in the AFC, we would have
the back-to-back reigning Super Bowl champions who have a lot of help from refs and dark magic, none other than the Kansas City Chiefs, who somehow have a record of 13-1 somehow, even though they should be like 7-7.
Watch out, your Uncle Adrian might not.
No, seriously though, have you not seen especially the dark magic? The Taylor Swift dark magic in the last few weeks.
I did see somebody made a funny video where one of the refs collapses, and the caption goes, "Oh no, the Kansas City Chiefs will be hurting without their help."
Yeah.
Oh, anyways, so all right, so the Chiefs would be number 1, and they would get the bye, and then you would have
the Buffalo Bills at 11-3. Who would get the number 2 seed.
Right.
And then in third place, none other than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to Mike Tomlin. The guy he's a great coach.
Yep.
And as much as I hate to say it, because I hate the Steelers too, but Mike Tomlin is a good coach, has had a winning season every year.
This year he has led the Steelers to their 18th straight winning season, I believe.
18 straight winning season.
That is longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, and he's done it despite the fact that in the beginning I said, don't give me either Wilson or Fields as a quarterback, but he has done magic with Dangerous this year as they are 10-4 and they're playing very well.
Yep. I'm going to be honest. I was not expecting them to be division leaders.
I didn't either.
And if they beat Baltimore today, they pretty much win the division.
Yeah, and Baltimore is my backup team. I've always liked the Ravens, but we'll see what happens today. So, all right, so the Steelers in third place.
Yeah, and then in fourth place is the Houston Texans at 9-5.
And their quarterback is
C.J. Stroud,
who Dad said would be
the better quarterback.
The better quarterback.
Yep.
And I was right.
Yep, it's looking that way.
So I bet the Panthers are second guessing their Bryce Young selection and probably said, we should have taken C.J. Stroud. So should have listened to the Juice Man. So anyways, all right.
Bringing up the first of the wild card spots is the Baltimore Ravens.
The Baltimore Ravens.
Who are 9-5 as well.
Yep.
They've actually... I thought they'd be doing better this season, especially with their addition of Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
But they've been kind of struggling recently.
Yeah, I think they're still trying to find their identity with Derrick Henry. There are some games where the offense just really clicks, but there are some games it's like, ugh, it's bad.
Yeah.
So
okay. And in the 6th seed, believe it or not, it's the return of the Los Angeles Chargers.
The LA Chargers, who on Monday night beat the Broncos.
Yes. And speaking of the Broncos, in the 7th seed is none other than the return of the Denver Broncos.
The Denver Broncos, and Sean Payton, who is another coach who I really like, has really done a great job with the Broncos, especially with Bo Nix being at the helm as quarterback. That guy's been pretty good, And when we had the draft last year, and you had Penix, and you had who else was in there? Penix.
You had Bo Nix, Penix, J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels,
and all them. So, I mean, Jaden Daniels with Washington has done a great job.
Yeah.
But man, I did not expect Bo Nix to do this well. But I guess Sean Payton has really been working with him and has done a good job. So they are the 7th seed. So right now, if the playoffs were to start, The Chiefs would be sitting at home eating popcorn, watching the Buffalo Bills take on the Broncos. And then we would have the Steelers taking on the Chargers. And then we would have the Texans hosting my favorite second team, the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, there's still...
We will see what happens because we still have,
3 games left.
3 games left. So, and right now, the Texans have actually jumped ahead, and they are leading the Kansas City Chiefs 10-7. So, all right. So that is the NFL so far this season. Again, been a hum year for me. Good year for you.
In the past few recent weeks.
Few recent weeks. So we'll see what happens as we start winding down the NFL season. So let's run down because the race is pretty tight with your team. What is their last 3 games for the Rams?
The last 3 games for the Los Angeles Rams this season are the New York Jets tomorrow, followed by the Arizona Cardinals next week, and then they round out with the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay. So Jets, Cardinals, and Seahawks.
Yep, the Seattle Seahawks.
God, I hate that.
What?
Because that guy up there in New York, he's...
what?
He's liable to play the Grinch. You're a mean one.
Who
Mr.
are you
Grinch.
talking about specifically?
Aaron Rodgers. I can see that guy beating the Rams just because he wants to be the Grinch.
The Jets have won 4 games this year.
I know.
And have been having so much trouble in the front office. It's not even funny anymore.
Yeah. But you know what?
Dad, they are...
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Hate. Lose the Rams. So, anyways. All right. Okay, well, let me just tell you. It's not going to surprise me if the Jets beat the Rams. But I do see the Jets beating the Cardinals, and I do see them beating... I do see the Rams beating the Cardinals, and I do see them beating the Seahawks. So I can see your Rams going 2-1 in the last 3 games. So then the Seattle Seahawks have who left besides your Rams?
I can see the Rams winning out in the last 3 games.
You're a mean one.
They're not going to do anything. The Seahawks start off with the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday.
Loss.
And then the Chicago Bears, the forever lowly Bears.
Man.
Who always find new ways to lose every week somehow.
Yeah.
The next week. And then rounding out is the Rams.
The Rams. So I can see them going 1-2.
What?
1-2. Yeah, I see them beating the Bears, but I don't see them beating the Rams or the Vikings.
Okay. I got confused for a second.
So, what about the Cardinals?
The Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals start off with the lowly Panthers on Sunday.
Win.
Then they take on the LA Rams.
Loss.
Yep. And then they round out the season with the 49ers.
I can see them going 1-2. I can see them beating the Panthers and then losing to the Rams and then losing to the 49ers just because the 49ers will probably, just wouldn't want to end on a sour note. But I could also see them going 2-1. But that would put them at 9-8. But then your team would be 10-7. And then the Seahawks would end up at 9-7 as well. But who would have the tiebreaker between them?
Who?
Between the Cardinals and the Seahawks if they ended up tied. So if they ended up tied with a 9-7 record, then
9-8 record, you mean?
I mean a 9-8 record. What has been? I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Seahawks are winning because they swept the Cardinals.
Okay, so they swept the Cardinals. So they would get in, and the Cardinals would be out.
Yep, and the Cardinals would finish their choke, their yearly choke.
Yep. So, All right. Well, there you have it. That is the NFL and what's going on so far. Um, in this NFL season, we don't have but 3 games left.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. The Rams looking good. The Cowboys not. Unless you're Jerry Jones, delusional Jerry Jones. Oh, it's like, we could have got into the playoff. Hey, we won that game against where we fumbled that punt. Uncle Jerry's Kool-Aid. One drink of Uncle Jerry's Kool-Aid would have you thinking, Super Bowl, here we come. So, anyways, all right. So that is pretty much the NFL and what's going on so far with the NFL gearing and getting close to the playoffs. But what else we got going on that is going on right now? I want to talk about this, but I want to do it in this segment right here. This is freestyle, where you get to talk about anything you want to talk about, which is geared towards you. But today, it's going to be freestyle, where we get to talk about anything we want. And one of the things that I want to talk about is the college football playoffs.
Well, that's not fair.
So,
this is my segment.
Eddie, it's the time of giving. It's the time of giving. It's Christmas time. It's the time of being a good family member and sharing and giving.
Well,
and giving and sharing. So,
I don't wanted to talk about the college football playoff.
Okay, we'll go ahead and talk about it.
Currently, the Penn State Nittany Lions are currently stomping all over SMU.
Yeah, the Pony Express is not doing too good today. So,
yep, they are beating them with a score of 28-0 at halftime.
28-0
at halftime.
Yep.
Yep. The playoffs kicked off last night with Notre Dame and Indiana.
Yeah, and it looked like Notre Dame was going to run away with that game, but Indiana clamped down in the second half, and they made it a game.
Yeah.
I believe the final score was, 27-17?
27-17.
Yeah, so it was a good game. The battle of the state of Indiana, as you had Indiana taking on Notre Dame, who is based out of South Bend, Indiana. So Notre Dame moving on.
They will take on none other than the Georgia Bulldogs.
They are taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. Congratulations, Notre Dame. Here is your prize. The Bulldogs. Wow. It's like, man, we did good, but now we get to face Georgia.
Yeah.
So far you will have Notre Dame and Georgia facing each other in the next round of the CFP playoffs, and that will be at the All-State Sugar Bowl in the land of Cajuns, New Orleans. Hey! So you will have the Sugar Bowl between Georgia and Notre Dame.
Yep.
And then right now, since Penn State is beating SMU, and it looks like they're probably going to run away with that game.
Yeah.
They will be moving on to the next round, and it looks like they will be taking on the Boise State Broncos in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl.
That is going to be a good game.
Yeah. So Penn State pretty much set. If they get past SMU here, taking on Boise State, they're setting themselves up pretty well to move on, probably all the way to the semifinals.
Meh.
We'll see.
I wouldn't say the semifinals.
You think Boise State would beat them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
So, okay. So, Notre Dame, here is your prize. You get Georgia, Penn State, Boise State awaits you. And then at 3 o'clock today, we have Hook 'em Horns. What did I just do it like that? Hook 'em Horns will be taking on the Clemson.
Oh, yeah. Tigers.
Gummy Bears.
What?
Yeah, the Gummy Tigers.
What?
They're pretty soft. So,
okay.
Just because the only reason they got in is because they beat SMU in the
conference
championship game. Otherwise, it would be Alabama in there. Oh, the Alabama people are still crying because we didn't get into the playoffs. So, anyways. All right. And then Arizona State got the bye.
Yep.
So whoever wins that game
We'll take on Arizona.
will take on Arizona at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. And then to finish it off, Oregon with the bye. And then you will have what I think it's probably going to be probably the tightest game, Ohio State and Tennessee.
Ooh.
And whoever wins that game moves on to face Oregon in the Rose Bowl. So they will play in the Rose Bowl. And then in the semifinals, you will have, believe it or not, I figured that the Rose Bowl would be one of the semifinals, but it's not. And I would have figured that the Sugar Bowl would have been the other, either the Sugar Bowl or the Fiesta Bowl would be the other semifinal, but it's not. The semifinal games this year, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, which will be played here in Dallas, potentially, if Texas plays their cards right, they could be in the semifinal playing at AT&T Stadium.
Ooh.
So, and then on the other side of the bracket, you would have in the semifinal would be the Capital One Orange Bowl. So
The Capital. Oh yeah, the Orange Bowl.
the Orange Bowl. Yep, and that would be played at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. So looking good so far in the CFP playoffs. Again, I think it's still flawed. I think that some other things could have happened. You're always going to have the discussions of Alabama should have got in. People. But anyways, it is what it is. I think it's always going to be flawed. Unless they do, like I talked about, we do it high school style where you have different classes, divisions, whatever. And then you crown 4 or 5 champions. And then everybody's happy because everybody got a playoff. Unless you go to a 64-team tournament like the basketball playoffs do in
honestly,
the NCAA.
I think no matter how it'll ever be done, there's always going to be people that'll be upset.
Yeah.
Just because their team wasn't good enough to get in.
Yep.
So
That is correct. So,
yeah,
yes, it is.
they'll just be forever flawed because there's just too many college teams. There's just too many college football teams.
Yes. Too
So-
many. So, oh, man. So, that is the CFP playoffs. And we are still in the freestyle segment of our show. Is there anything else that you want to talk about before we start wrapping this up? So, not really?
Yeah, I mean, no, pretty much. I really just wanted to talk about the playoffs, both
Okay.
NFL and college football playoffs.
Okay.
So
We've done that. So, well, I guess with that, let's go ahead and start wrapping it up. But I just want to say to all our Bloodline Sports family, we wish you a very Merry Christmas. We
and a Happy New Year.
and a Happy New Year. We are thankful and blessed to have you guys watching us week in and week out. Even though we don't put out shows every week due to certain things, but we enjoy the fact that you guys come and join us and subscribe for our 161 subscribers. We thank each and every one of you. We couldn't do this without you, because if there was no subscribers, there would probably be no show. So we appreciate you guys subscribing. But as always, please, email us at bloodlinesports.yt@gmail.com, or you can comment on our YouTube page. But we'd love hearing from you. And as always, if you reach out to us, we will definitely answer the comments. We will definitely answer the emails. So we welcome any communication from y'all.
Yeah.
And again, we are blessed and we are happy and we are overjoyed that we get to do this. This is coming to an end for what has been 2024 for us in taking this journey on of jumping from Spotify to YouTube.
Yeah.
So I think it's been good.
Oh, yeah.
We've had some very successful shorts. We've had some kind of successful videos.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the new year, we might start doing some more live stuff. We're definitely going to try to kick up the content that comes out. But it is a little hard when it's just you and I doing this. and Dad having a full-time job as well. But we will do our best to put more stuff out. And the one thing that I also want to put out there is that if you guys have any ideas for our shows, any type of show that you want to see us put out, any topic that you want us to talk about, let us know. Reach out to us either by email or through our YouTube page. But as always, I enjoy doing this. This is something that we both enjoy doing. Hopefully, we are doing a good job. We love bringing this content to you, and we hope that you enjoy it as well. But as always, if you're a new viewer,
what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
Feliz Navidad.
I hate that song. I hate that song with passion. But anyway, so if you're a new viewer, or if you're just scrolling by or whatever, you like our content, hit that like and subscribe button wherever it's going to be. But again, we thank our Bloodline Sports family for a great year, and we look forward to doing 2025 with you.
Yeah.
And as always, I always look forward to doing stuff with you. I'm looking forward to 2025. You are my pride and joy, and I love you. And this is Bloodline Sports.
It's all relative. Goodbye, everyone.